Update for today, March the 6th. So, as I mentioned before, this was my first day off, full day off, not going down to Central Oregon, not working, not teaching, since the 18th of December. Like I said, this situation with my parents started on the 23rd of September, and although it's not the resolution we wanted, um, we are now getting to a place where my involvement in that situation is concluding, and the end result, the bittersweet result, is that I did have the day off again after the events of this week. Mostly just rested today, got a bunch of my energy back, and just kind of decompressed from what the last 5 or 6 days have been like. That being said, got to get annoyed by a couple of things. So my little ring light thing that's actually holding my phone right now, there's a little cheap part that screws into the base, which is what holds the phone. If I bop it, that's what happens. Anyway, the thing that screws it into the base, somehow with all this going back and forth and bumping over highways, this thing has ridden with me, I don't know, probably 10 or 12 trips, if you consider both ways. And somehow, now that the screw that holds it in is pretty much hopelessly stripped. And so at some point during this video, you may see the phone just plop to the ground. Well, that's why. I'll probably chuckle about it if it happens, and then we'll move on. But anyway, had to buy a new one of these because, you know, what you get what you pay for, and I bought a cheapy one off Amazon, and that's what you get. But I am going to get another one. Same one because, you know, fool me twice, shame on me. But there we go. So, and my wonderful $70 razor, the power cord's gone. Probably left it in Oregon somewhere. While I was down there, all the confusion of this week. So my razor's going to die, and maybe I'll turn into Tarzan. Or did Tarzan have a beard? Anyway, so we'll see about that. I did go to the tanning place today. I again do like skin color. I love vitamin D. Yeah, I know, not the healthiest thing. But that being said, given that I live in the Portland area and we've had 37 minutes of sunlight so far for 2026, you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, did that today. Then I went to the store. Went to my store because I honestly felt like hot dogs. Now, this is going to be a austerity year for me. I actually mentioned this back in January, but because of, again, all these unexpected expenses and unexpected time commitments and not being able to work as much and all this other stuff that has been going on since late September, this has got to be an austerity year. Basically, I need to focus on getting back to positive cash flow, not burning through reserves. So basically, I'm just having to trim everything that I can for the time being. Not about to go to the poorhouse or anything. I just need to turn my cash flow around and get back to a positive trajectory. And again, with these kind of unforeseen expenses, I just have to start slashing stuff for a while. So less eating out, not going to be perfect on that, I'm sure, but and so saving money even on saving like half price on ordering some freaking hot dogs by getting all the supplies and doing it myself from a store. Go figure. And then I've actually mentioned several different times that I have wanted to do short clips or cut some of these long updates into short, like TikTok or Instagram preferred length clips. And so I started actually experimenting with that today. It's really the most kind of productive thing that I did, kind of a compromise between productive and resting. And if you're on Facebook, it sounds like it's going to feel kind of spammy. My goal is I'm going to try to find at least one like TikTokable clip from each of these updates that are just kind of general interest or whatnot, and put those on there separate because it is logical, get some feedback, and actually quite a bit of it that, who has a lot of time to watch a 10-minute thing of me ranting? So instead, and I have a few examples of this already on all the platforms. I'll have little clips that say things like, just one topic. Like one of them I tried today was when I was talking about driving through the snow to get to past Mount Hood and how pretty it was to go to my parents' place. Made that little part of that entire video a clip, and again, you can check that out to kind of see what I'm talking about. The big clip, and I'm essentially going to I'm going to try to race up to being exactly 1 month behind, where the clip that I post on a certain day is going to be exactly one from the thing 1 month earlier. Why would I do that? Simply because I know myself, and if I was going to try to clip something the same day, I would then be going out of my way to make something clippable. And while I'm doing these presentations and just riffing, and that will just kind of change the entire vibe of these things, and I don't want to do that. So instead, a month later, that's kind of cute that I said that. Let's clip that. And so that's what's going to start happening. Hopefully that's interesting to some folks. So talking about cruises. Now, this is our family photo wall. Now, you'll see that all of this. Oh, and look. All of this are pictures from various cruises and things that my family has been on. Oh, look what came off. This is the thing I was talking about. Anyway, and I get that this kind of display is kind of strange, and so the odds are very high that I'm going to start cohabitating with somebody fairly soon, and within the next year and a half, something like that. And so, and almost certainly, whoever it is, given that it's not my mom, is probably not going to want 85 pictures of me and my parents all over the place. So these will have to be packed somewhere, but I'm going to enjoy them while they're here. Now, all this is about cruising stuff. And at least almost all of these are cruises. And that kind of leads to a question: why did my family pick cruising? And the answer is relatively straightforward. And basically the gist of it was that in 2004, we went to Kona, Hawaii, and we well, long story short, Mom likes sitting next to pools and reading books. Dad likes seeing stuff. They were completely at each other's throats pretty much the entire trip for that reason. And so I looked at advertisements and I thought, gosh, a 7-night, 6-day cruise. 3 days at sea, we're stuck by the pool. 3 days on land, we can go and see stuff. I actually suggested this to them as a potential compromise, and they accepted it. So we tried it, and it worked brilliantly. And then all these trips later, and all these memories that nobody can take away from us. Well, Thanks for joining me today, and ciao for now.